All right, cool. What are you doing?
Gary, I was out walking the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, on the sidewalk, as you tend to be, but I, just took a little bit of a step into the grass, and a bunch of weird things happened. Yeah, like I just started feeling like not really that well off, like just, like creeping or whatever. It was almost like, when I was stepping in random places, bad things would happen to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Such as me finding a copy of Hydlide.
That's a terrible random encounter.
I know, right?
That you've run into.
Yeah.
And ironically, Hydlide does not have random encounters. So.
Yeah. Can we just say fuck and get to the episode?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes, we can. Yeah, fuck.
So let's talk about how bad things can happen to you for no reason, Gary.
Yeah, like there's a reason with Hydlide.
Cool.
I assume that like I was playing this because I haven't called my mom in a while or something like that. Like it's something. Ooh. But yeah, I'm Gary.
I'm Cole.
And this is Abject Suffering. And this is Hydlide. Infamous. Whew. Infamous terrible game.
Yeah, this was... Well, why are you doing this to us, Sean Scaletta? He writes in the comment section, this game can eat it. Yes, it can.
Yeah, it can eat it.
You have no excuse. You know what you've done.
Yeah, this is so Hydlide, like, there's different, like, there's tons of games that we do for the show I never heard of, blah, 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 bloop. And then this game, the next game we're doing, I had like history with, I played as a kid. But this one really stung because any screenshot of this game looks like something rad.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like something I would like as a kid who was just like, I like RPGs. I like Dragon Quest. Mm-hmm. And Dragon Warrior. Like, I'm into this. And then it's so not that.
Right.
To an extreme degree.
Yeah, like it is a massive bait and switch. Like I was expecting when I learned it's like, oh, this might not. Yeah, but it is. It is actually as bad as
it is. Yeah, it is. It is really, really bad. This is very, very bad.
Yeah.
Let's go through some reasons why it's bad.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit that first one.
I was just gonna say it has Octoroks in it before Zelda was a thing. Like how crazy is that?
Yeah, that seems like a just like a Deep Impact Armageddon kind of thing.
True.
Like Octoroks were going to come out.
It was in the zeitgeist. That is what the 5th chapter of what's his name? Blink, some Tipping Point.
Oh,
yeah, I forget his name because I hate his writing. So yeah, the Tipping Point. That's a 5th chapter in the Tipping Point. Octoroks were going to happen.
Yeah, Octoroks gonna rock.
Yeah,
rock right now. What?
Yeah. So yeah. So this is. It feels like everything is happening entirely at random to me, and I was able to, over the course of the half hour that I played it, suss out like the difference between the attack and defend mode, for instance. But that is not an intuitive system at all.
No, it's real dumb. So we'll lump that under bad things with this game and just say like how you kind of get around and attack and stuff. So like it's from like the ease school where like you just run into things to kill them.
Right.
That's it. And you have attack and defend mode, which you toggle with the A button. It takes a little while to figure that out. And defense mode, you will die against everything.
Right.
Like if you go up and something to defend him, you do a little bit of damage, but not enough to kill anything.
Right.
So you just go, and then attack mode, you take a lot of damage, and you get your health back, as near as I can tell, just by chilling out.
Yeah. Well, you get your health back by resting on field tiles.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you're just constantly taking inevitable damage because you're not making any choices or anything when you attack. You're just running in, just rubbing up against something until one of you dies.
Yeah.
And then you just have to spend all this time resting on field tiles. In between doing things, just to grind endlessly against these fucking silkworms and forest kobolds.
Yeah, and slimes and such.
Yeah,
and like the bad thing is you can give yourself an advantage in combat by attacking them from the back or the side, but for most of these sprites, there's no way to tell which way they're facing except by watching how they move.
And they move entirely randomly.
Right.
So like it's not like they follow a pattern or anything like that. So you have to like look at one of them and then decide how to approach it. They just kind of like wiggle around on the screen. Like everything just wanders around in random circles in this fucking game. Like there's no sense of ecology to it. Like a random encounter, like as much as we, spend some time bagging on that as a mechanic, like the idea is you're walking around Dragon Warrior and something like ambushes you. Like you didn't see it there, but seeing it just wandering around randomly, like not attempting to get you beforehand, like really ruins that illusion. Like at the very least, a random encounter is like, oh, I ran into this monster. It's been waiting for me. It's trying to kill me because it's a predator of some kind. Yeah, it makes a sense.
Yeah, it's like I would not have opted to get into this fight because that would drain my resources or whatever. But here we are. My hand has been forced.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And this one, you have to do that just to grind. Like it takes away a level of abstraction because you just have to fight these things because otherwise you're not going to be strong enough to fight the bigger things.
Yeah. And my problem is I saw no correlation between my experience level and like any other stat that would make a difference.
You have to level up and it takes forever to level up. Like you have to fill up that experience bar.
Holy shit. I thought that each little notch was just a level.
No. Oh. No. You fill that up and then it starts over. So that is how, and it's like 1 pixel at a time. So it is just egregious. It's so boring. It is just and like I was so excited when I was a kid. I was like, oh cool, it's gonna be like Dragon Warrior. I love Dragon Warrior.
It's got a knight and a dragon on the box.
Yeah, the box looks badass, and the Japanese box looks like super like evocative and great. It's like these like super soft like colors and really warm.
Yeah, you got these fairies flying around and like the crazy spires sticking out of the ocean.
Yeah, I love it. But man, oh man.
Yeah. So let's talk about a good thing. Let's just ping pong back and forth. Yeah, your main character's name is Jim.
Hello. Welcome to my field.
I'm King Jim.
I'm Jim the Knight. Oh, excuse me. I was in defense mode.
No, change attack mode.
I'm in attack mode now.
You know what that reminds me of? Actually, the My Dinner with Andre game from The Simpsons.
Oh, tell me more.
Have this witty remark and tell me more.
Tell me more. Fake Simpsons arcade games are great.
Yeah,
like that is wonderful. Like there's like a special place in heaven for like fake Simpsons arcade games and fake Seinfeld movies.
Yep.
Like Seinfeld movies are the best.
Sack lunch.
Yeah, like, is it just a big sack or do they get shrunk down? Sack lunch is so good.
Death blow. Yeah. I love that. That's one of my favorite. There's an art to coming up with like a fake name for media that is just like, just generic enough to not stick out, but be funny in its own right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the cones of Dunshire. It's about the cones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to Hydlide. Let's focus on Hydlide with laser-like precision because I'm not done being mad about this game.
There's a lot to take apart. You're rescuing Anne. Hello.
Yeah, Anne.
Yeah.
Hello.
from the demon Borealis, not Borealis, which would make sense.
Yeah,
but
Borealis, who like in the beginning shoots her with fire and turns her into fairies, right?
I think
is that what's happening during that cutscene at the beginning?
No, the one that I saw a million times.
Yeah, exactly. That little tiny like thing you have to watch every single time you die.
Yeah, it's like a Pac-Man cutscene. Yeah.
And then the music. Which is like it's the first like 12 bars of the Indiana Jones theme.
Yep.
And it just loops everywhere, like loops in dungeons, loops on the overland, loops in forest.
It's persistent and shameless.
Yeah, and it is Indiana Jones. Like it is dun, 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 dun. Like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Like but it's a bouncy I'll put a sample in here for comparison. Yeah. But yeah, it's like a bouncy chiptune version of it, kind of like it feels like if they made an Indiana Jones JRPG, that's what it would be.
Good God, would that be dumb? That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just you're just listening to this music over and over. Like if you can tolerate it because it's really terrible, really repetitious, while doing this very terrible repetitious thing. and then that's it. And I got really mad and stopped playing. So I did not get very far in this.
Yeah. Well, it suffers from a little bit of the Dark Souls problem because it gives you a lot of, a couple of options of where to go from the beginning, but none of them are, that viable. There's no like good way to go. Right?
It's because you're not supposed to go anywhere. You're supposed to grind against those slimes.
Yeah. Well, God forbid I try and make progress.
Yeah, you don't need to go anywhere in this game. Like, you just need to constantly be grinding.
Yeah.
Grinding on slimes.
ABG.
Yep.
Yeah.
Honking on slimos. And
honk on Slimos.
Hey, honk my Slimo.
Oh no.
That's like in like the Adventures of Pluto Nash, like he'd pass by some alien who would yell that, like cat call that at his the sidekick character.
Yeah.
Hey, honk my Slimo.
Yeah. Well, that was that was a holdover from Osmosis Jones too.
Yeah.
Oh wait, those are different things.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I got those confused.
Yep. They all both take place in the Deva-verse, though. So the Meet Deva-verse.
Yeah, which is actually a fantasy from the movie. What is it?
Beverly Hills Cop?
Norbit. Yeah.
Okay.
Beverly Hills Norbit.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh man. And Holy Man is their deity.
Did you know that the third highlight is called the Space Memories?
Speaking of fake titles.
Yeah, highlight 3, the Space Memories.
Yeah. So that's the hilarious thing about this, is that there is a third one.
Yeah, and super highlight and virtual highlight.
Yeah, virtual highlight. I have a distinct memory of this because I remember looking at ads for it in GamePro. Because that was, that was contemporary with when I was first really like getting into like, oh, I'm going to read about video games in magazines, being like, badass. This is a reason to own a Sega Saturn because like I'm seeing knights and shit. Like it was just a clarion call to me as a kid. Yeah.
Like I just liked fantasy, and that was it. Yeah. So. Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah, and like the title makes no sense, so it sounds just fantastic enough to like really intrigue me.
Yeah, for virtual, like none of those words. Like I don't know what Hydlide is, so virtual Hydlide is double meaningless.
Yeah, I know. Like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a virtual Hydlide. Every time you start the game, it creates a unique playing world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So then, how is it a remake of the first one?
Virtual, I don't know. I don't know, because
that is how it's marketed.
Yeah, I guess probably just they realized how little the geography matters.
Yeah,
in the first one. Mm-hmm. I wonder if virtual highlight is more playable. Super highlight, looking at aka highlight 3, aka the Space Memories for the Sega Genesis. I remember seeing that as well. Mm-hmm. Back when I was a kid, but I wasn't a Sega kid, so I never got catfished by this.
Catfished. Never seduced you over Tinder
with a picture of a knight.
Yeah.
He just Snapchatted me a picture of a knight, and you're just like, ooh, yeah.
that is possibly the best sexed.
It's like, I want to play that.
Yeah, it's like, hey baby, picture of a wizard. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Jerking it so right.
Yeah, I'm pretty into wizards right now. Well, I'm 12 years old. I'll go for that.
Yeah.
You have a statistic in Highlight 3 called MF, or moral fiber.
What is it? An Ultima game?
If you kill a good monster, yeah, you points are lost from your MF statistic, aka moral fiber.
Well, I mean, if it goes up, that's the motherfucker statistic.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah. No, you have spells and stuff in this too. Like if you press both buttons at the same time or something, you fire off a little fireball.
It's like you switch B to switch to spell mode, and then tap B until you get to the spell you want, and then press A to go to attack mode, and then press B to cast the spell. They really took advantage of the fact that they're it's like they forgot about the select button. It's like, how do we do this? You only have 2 buttons. Yeah, which would, I mean, it's made for, it's like a PC-88 game.
Yeah,
originally. So part of the problem with this game is it came out after Zelda and Dragon Quest, and that's in America because it took a long time to localize. But if you want to be super charitable and have this come out before those games, it's not as bad, but still pretty unplayable.
By the time this hit America, this was a 5-year-old game. It was a port of a 5-year-old game. That's
pretty nuts.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. But
And
like even like I mean there were games that were contemporaneous with this that were reasonable, you know, like RPGs, like even Ease, which like, you know, it takes an influence from like Ease is more playable than this, and Ease is not really playable.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm just I can't. So let's get to the thing that really bothers me the most about this, which is I just walking on certain tiles with no explanation will drain your health, and you start with like a 3 pixel wide line of health, right? Mm-hmm. Like so if you're just standing in a forest, because I can stand in forests, it's cool, you just die.
yeah.
Same thing with, you know, if you're going into any of the dungeons, like to fight, you know, vampires or whatever, standing on like a brick tile drains your health.
Yeah.
And so by recommendation of somebody in the chat room when I was streaming this, they're like, okay, just put in a cheat code so you can see more of this. I was like, okay, cool. This makes it way too easy. Like I can take out zombies and shit in one attack. But then I like wandered into another part of the map and just died for no reason. Like my health, which extended all the way across the bar, just and then dead back to
like
the beginning.
A trap.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like with no, like just on the overworld, I think maybe on a grass tile, like for no reason. And so that to me reeks of, you know, this era of like computer role-playing games where everything would be explained in the manual. So I feel a little bit ridiculous saying, well, that's bullshit. When they say, well, no, actually the grass tiles that look like this, if you read here, it's been cursed by Borealis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
but like from a gameplay statistic, you know, from a standpoint rather, like that needs to be discoverable.
Yeah. Yeah. We can't be expected to read the manuals for games we do for this show.
No.
Like by any means. There's a hardcore gaming 101 entry on Hydlide that I'm going to read as soon as we get done recording.
Oh.
And it's showing virtual Hydlide, which is like a 3D over the shoulder game.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. That's interesting to me.
I'm looking at screenshots of it right now, and it has your expected Sega Saturn draw distance.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You're like I mean, it looks a little, I don't know, Kingsfieldy to a certain extent.
Yeah. Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Play some. I like the look of that night.
Gary, no, they're coming after you. You're falling into the trap.
Looks like a pretty cool wizard.
Yeah. Actually, no, this actually looks pretty good. There's an indoor shot of him standing and looking at a grandfather clock. Like, I want to look at that. I want to go see a sweet grandfather clock.
Like grandfather clocks are like your catfish thing. There might be some kind of time puzzle you have to do with that. I wonder if like the hour hand and the minute hand have to be pointed at something.
Like, what do those represent? Okay, so the second hand is pointed at the Castle of Borealis, and the hour hand is pointed at my. No, Cole,
come back. I don't know. Maybe there's a clock puzzle in there. Right? I don't know, like a Resident Evil-esque clock puzzle.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, or maybe you're going around collecting crests, collecting some kind of like amulet or pendant. There's a mimic, Gary.
Yeah, I saw that mimic.
Come on, it's got teeth and everything. Gary,
this might be one of my catfishables.
Yeah.
Like if there were trading cards for Duckfeed.tv, it would just be the front would just be a picture of us like holding a baseball bat, and then the back would just be all of our assorted catfishables.
Grappling
catfishables include
grappling hook. Manifestations of psychological insecurity in games.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yep.
Huh. No, that I might. I don't know if I can emulate Sega Saturn because it's notorious, but I might actually dip into that.
I might just look up some YouTube footage and see how it looks.
Like a let's play. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Dragon Riders of Pern game.
Oh, I've never played that.
Yeah, it looks suspiciously like that. In fact, to the point where I wonder if there's DNA there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in retrospect, Hydlide, pretty great.
Yeah, no, it's a must play. I think it's right up there with like at least as good as Metroid.
Yeah, yeah. Like this is real. I'm just been catfished by it. Like it is not it is a bad game.
Yeah.
I'm susceptible to catfishing. Like I am. It's like the speech from the end of Merchants of Venice. Like, and am I not human? Do I not get catfished by knights?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so one thing I will say in its favor, this does have a very wide stable of enemies in it. Like they hit all the D&D notes with slimes and zombies and stuff.
I didn't get far enough.
Oh, yeah.
Like I never like thought to go get a cheat code. So I just hung out in that first area and grinded, and I was like, this is stupid.
Well, no, I was literally only 2 screens over from the starting area when I got, when I got taken down by the grass, the cursed grass of Borealis.
evil grass monster.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's a rock that moves. That'll kill
I
you
saw
instantly.
that rock. Yeah. I ended up seeing the rock.
Yeah.
The instant kill rock.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's a little bit like a mimic as a rock. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's got teeth under it.
Yeah, kind of. It's like in underwater, there are actually fish that do that.
Yeah.
Like there are fish that like look like rocks, and if you step on them, they poison you.
Yeah, that's one of the most like the rockfish is one of the most poisonous fish in the world.
Yeah, that's why you don't go in the ocean.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah,
you piece of shit.
It doesn't want us.
No,
like,
it is the closest thing that we have to outer space here on Earth.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't want us.
Yeah, for sure. So this actually plays into. Again, speaking to that catfish thing, have you ever just wanted to play that adventure game from Big?
I think we talked about that before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is really like way more than I wanted to play that stupid choose your own adventure comic book that he invents.
Yeah,
like that's totally been done.
Yeah,
like, it's not even that. Like that was done in like I feel like there were early PC like Batman games and X-Men games that are essentially that. I remember them just being like, it's amazing, you know. And I was always more like I'm kind of into those buildings that transform from Big, but that adventure game from Big looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
So maybe like those titles, if you just take generic fantasy stuff and assemble it together, I basically just went back and talked about being catfished again. Damn it, this is so powerful.
Yeah, it is my favorite verb of like 2014.
Take a wizard, put him in an ice cavern, and I'm good. Yeah, like just give me. I mean, I'm playing through the Shadowgate remake right now, and like that is 100% that.
Yeah, it's also hitting me with those same. I'm also playing that.
Yeah.
Right now and getting the same vibes. Yeah. Classic soundtrack all the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I was really disappointed in the new soundtrack of that. Like it's the same melodies. It just takes forever to get to them. Yeah, it's like Teflon. It just kind of like rolls right off your ears. Yeah. It's like eventually you can recognize the melody, but everything has like string, warming up and atmospheric like swells for a minute, and you don't spend enough time in one area to get to the melody. No. And like I bought the special edition, and that's worked its way into my like listening to stuff while I work playlist. But like that isn't a place for memorable melodies. Yeah. It's just like atmospheric. Yeah. My cell phone ringtone actually right now though is the mirror theme. The Hall of Mirrors. Good. Yeah. Which how does that one go? It's I don't have an ear for melody. Yep, that's one. Yeah. Some of the best soundtracks are like on the NES. I love that soundtrack so much. Yeah. I might switch it to the Scarlett O'Hara theme from Uninvited. Also good. Yeah. That was like just watch out for Fireball's memories. Like that was a fun edit when we did those games because I'm pretty sure I used every Shadowgate song, and I was really happy to do that. Yeah, those are good songs. Yeah, that game has a knight on the cover too. Like I could see if you were knight has a badass skeleton on the cover, but like you could get if you weren't into adventure games. Like, do people consider themselves to be catfished by Shadowgate because they think it's going to be like a Zelda action game and then they can't handle all the pointing and clicking? I could see that. Yeah, I could see that too. Idiots. You piece of shit. You piece of shit. I don't want to talk about Hydlide anymore. Let's stop playing this episode. Let's do that. Stop doing that. I'm out of bad things to say about Hydlide. Yeah. Like, I don't like it. It almost feels unfair because I feel like what we're saying is this is a game from before games were good. But that's not the case at all. So yeah, there are games like this is semi-contemporaneous with the like the D&D Gold Box games. I think the earliest ones of those, and those are playable. Yeah, like that's actually a game. It came after Wizardry. I think came after Ultima. Both those games are playable. Yeah. Like, this is they reference Wizard or the first Ultima as an influence on this. Yeah, and like Ultima is pretty hard to play, but it's better than this. Yeah, and there were 3 Wizardry games before this actually came out. That's amazing. Like Wizardry, you can straight up play. It's just a first-person dungeon crawler, and like it's doable. It's hard. It's not like a great game, but it's way better than this. Yeah, This is just inept nonsense. Fuck this game. Yeah, Sean. Like you're on notice, Sean. Yeah. I'm very angry. I guess according to this hardcore gaming, maybe I had it wrong. I guess this hardcore gaming 101 thing says ease came later. Oh. So whoops. Yeah. Anywho, doesn't matter. We corrected ourselves. Fuck everything. Fuck it all. Fuck it all. Yeah. So what what admin stuff? What do we do next time?
Well, next time we're going to be doing Fist of the North Star for the NES, and that was suggested by Brian Castellano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another game I played as a youth. And it's surprisingly unegregious.
Yeah.
And if uninspiring.
Yeah.
And if you want to suggest other games, you can go to we have a widget on the Abject Suffering page. It's the best way to do it. So go to Duckfeed.tv /Abject Suffering and play with the widget.
Yeah. If you don't feel like giving your last name on that, do what some people have been doing and just put in like a funny little phrase.
Yeah.
And that's right there. It's just a part of the form. So it asks for a last name, but we don't expect that. So
yeah, put whatever you want.
Yeah.
We don't care. We don't need to know your last names. And then you can go to our Facebook group, facebook.com /Abject Suffering. It's popping. And you can
it's on and popping. Okay.
No, it's on and popping.
It's on and popping or popping off. I forget which one I said.
I think you said popping off.
Yeah. So.
Like pop off that shirt, bro. It's popping off a shirt. And and you should rate and review this show on iTunes.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've had a review, and they are always welcome. God damn it.
It's been some time since we've been standing on our own 2 reviews. So
yeah. But other than that, there's the usual stuff. Listen to our other shows and consider going to the Patreon page. That's patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Kick us a couple bucks a month or don't. We're just happy that you're listening.
Yeah. And that's why the show is weekly now.
Yeah.
So if you like that, you have Patreon to thank.
For sure.
So the world might be mended.
So the world might be sundered. Bye-bye.